What's up? So it's a brand new year and I decided to finally flip my camera. There have been so many people that have been telling me, so thank you for that advice. I finally decided to take it. I think though, because of this, I won't be able to put the videos up on IGTV, so they're going to be on YouTube from now on. So I hope that doesn't cause any problems for anybody. And then second off, I really hope the videos I've already made have benefited, you guys in some way or another. I hope that you have tried, or at least have planted a seed in your mind to try to live a healthier life, try to be more aware of what you're putting into this beautiful body of yours and what you're actually feeding it. Try to be more aware of what's happening to our planet because of what we're putting in our bodies, and hopefully I planted that seed that you can try to go a little bit more plant-based. What I really wanted to talk about was your gut health. I have been doing a bunch of research on this. I actually just got my diploma in gut health to make sure I give you guys the best advice on gut health and what you can do to prevent chronic illnesses, because I really feel like gut health and your microbiota, your microbiomes in your body are the key into the future for preventative medicine. It's the key to make sure we don't get chronic illnesses. And the reason that I say this is the more I learn about it, and then I always make a connection with our deen. Prophet ﷺ, like we know, has told us literally that the source of illness is in your gut, and the cure is also your gut. And then we have a bunch of other people in history that have also said the same thing in terms of when it comes to the gut and disease, right? There is definitely a connection. So I want to talk a little bit more about microbiomes and microbiota. Microbiomes are basically the bacteria that reside in your body, and microbiota is the term of the community of bacteria that reside in your body. Honestly, we are more microbe than we are even human, because we have a lot more microbial cells than we do even human cells. So I'm not really sure why we're called humans. You might as well, we're blobs of bacteria walking around with a couple human cells here and there. So anyways, we have thousands of species within us. We're the human species, but we have a whole nother world within our body. And I feel like that's exactly what Prophet ﷺ maybe and Hippocrates, maybe that's what they meant when they said the cure and the source and everything is in your gut. Is that what they were talking about? Because most of your microbiota live in your gut. They live in the colon. There's thousands of species, and the diversity of microbiota is what makes a person, right? So every human being has a different makeup of microbiota. It's so diverse in your body. It's not just diverse in terms of, the fact that you have different types of microbiota for every different section of your body, but also the ones, let's just say the ones that are in the gut, they're also very different. There's thousands of species within the gut itself. So, it's kind of crazy to think that, every single person is so different. And that's why my approach when it comes down to health is there's no one size fits all. You can't say that this medication or this fruit or this vegetable or this supplement is going to work for everybody. It won't, because we are all made up of different genes and we're all made up of different microbiota, and microbiota can change from a day-to-day basis. You get most of your microbes when you are born, when you're coming out through the canal. Nothing against allopathic medicine, but I definitely truly believe in allopathic. But when it comes down to chronic disease, I don't. So basically, the way the Western medicine works, the allopathic, is you wait till you develop a disease and then you treat it, right? But that ideology doesn't really work when it comes to chronic diseases, because once you get a chronic disease, it is very, very, very hard to get rid of. So at the point right now, we're just kind of treating the symptoms, right? So for us in the new generation, we need to make sure that we just prevent, from getting these diseases and prevent our children from getting these diseases. We know, we've seen it. It's like an epidemic right now, and it's very easy to get. And I feel like it all relates back to what we are putting in our bodies, what we are feeding them. And guess what? What does that even mean? What are we feeding our bodies? It is what you are feeding or not feeding your microbiome. There's a whole nother world within the human vessel. We are just a soul. Our souls are just occupying this vessel, and Allah, this vessel is going to go back. Allah has told us not to, mess up this vessel in any way, to take care of it very, very properly. And, what we eat and what we're putting in it make a very big difference, because we're actually feeding the little tiny, beings that are in the body. There's so many of them, and actually the diversity of these microbiota and microbiomes, is the key, to be a healthy person. The more diverse your microbiota are, the healthier you are. So, when you're a little kid and you want to go outside and play, that's what it means kind of to boost up your immunity. I feel is basically, getting diverse microbiomes into your body, with the exposure that you get from outside as well. So I don't want to make these videos pretty long, because there's so much about gut health that I can speak of. So I'm going to make like little videos at a time. But, I kind of want to leave you with the fact that if you have these little creatures in your body, it makes a very, very big difference on what you are feeding them or what you're not feeding them, in terms of, are you starving them or are you actually feeding them? And if you are starving them, and I will get in more into detail on, whether you are starving them or not, it depends on which foods you're eating. If you're starving them, what happens is they start eating into you. They'll start eating the mucus lining in your gut. So, and that's where disease kind of starts. So if you really, very, very important to feed them the proper foods, because there are some foods that actually our body can't break down itself. It's the microbiomes that actually break them down, and that's when you're feeding them. So I'll get a little bit more into that next time. I don't want to go into so much detail, scientific or medical detail like that. I kind of want to just give a generic, thing for the broad audience. But if you want to get in more into the medical aspect, message me. I can kind of talk to you about that as well. Or, I can give you the resources on where you can, get more of that information to get a better understanding of gut health. So love, heal, and take control. You need to start loving your body. Once you actually start taking that step towards loving your body and making your body and this vessel very important to you, then you can start the process of healing. And the way to do that is finally take back the control, gain that control back from these companies that, their intention might not be good. It might not be the best for each individual. It's more for, their money or the greed, and we know that's going to be there. So, and we can't just ignore it. Don't sit here and just ignore those facts. We have the doctors, we have the people there that are, inshallah, I want to become a PA as well. But the whole thing is, we're considered compassionate people, from what Prophet ﷺ said. We're not healers. The healing comes from above. And, once you actually start taking that in from what, our deen says about medicine and health, I think we can actually finally start healing. So take back that control. All right. Peace out.